Look right now, as you watch this video, there are over 2.5 million people actively browsing a version of the internet that you cannot see, cannot access with a regular browser, and cannot find through Google. It generates billions of dollars in illegal transactions every single year. And the most unsettling part, a significant portion of its original infrastructure was built and funded by the United States government. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly what the dark web actually is, how it technically works, what is genuinely down there, and why the reality is both more disturbing and far more complicated than anything you have seen in a Netflix documentary. We will also get to the one thing that surprises almost everyone: the dark web is not purely criminal, and the people who built it had an entirely different purpose in mind. That truth changes everything. Background: to understand the dark web, you first need to understand that the internet you use every single day is only a fraction of what exists online. Researchers estimate that the surface web, Google, YouTube, social media, news sites, everything you can find through a search engine, represents only about 4 to 5% of the total internet. The rest is divided into two layers. The deep web is simply any content not indexed by search engines. This includes your bank account, private emails, hospital records, internal corporate databases, and subscription content behind paywalls. That part is enormous and mostly benign. You use it every single day without thinking about it. Then there is the dark web. The dark web is a specific, intentionally hidden portion of the internet that requires special software to access. The most common tool is the Tor browser, which stands for the Onion Router. Here is where history gets genuinely interesting. Tor was not created by hackers or criminals. It was developed in the mid-1990s by researchers at the United States Naval Research Laboratory. The original goal was to protect American intelligence communications online. The idea was simple: if only spies used anonymous routing, then anyone using it was obviously a spy. So they made it public. The more ordinary people who used it, the better the cover for actual intelligence operations. The United States government essentially built the foundation of what would become the dark web in order to hide its own agents. Tor works by encrypting your internet traffic and routing it through a series of at least 3 volunteer-operated servers called nodes. Each node only knows the address of the previous and next node in the chain, never the full picture. Think of it like passing a sealed letter through multiple couriers, where each courier only knows who handed it to them and who to pass it to next. By the time your request reaches its destination, tracing it back to you becomes extraordinarily difficult. This layered encryption is exactly why it is called onion routing, layers upon layers of protection. Main content: so what is actually on the dark web? The honest answer is a mixture of things that will disturb you, things that will genuinely surprise you, and things that are completely mundane. Start with the criminal infrastructure, because that is what drives the headlines. Drug marketplaces are among the most trafficked destinations on the dark web. The Silk Road, launched in 2011 by Ross Ulbricht, was the first major dark web marketplace. At its peak, it was generating over 1.2 million transactions and approximately 9.5 million Bitcoin in revenue. The FBI shut it down in 2013 and arrested Ulbricht, who is currently serving 2 consecutive life sentences. But Silk Road was just the beginning. After Silk Road fell, dozens of copycat markets emerged. Alphabet, Hansa, Dream Market, Empire Market, each one larger and more sophisticated than the last. Alphabet alone, shut down in 2017, was 10 times larger than Silk Road at the time of its takedown. Fentanyl, methamphetamine, heroin, counterfeit pharmaceuticals, and stolen prescription medications flow through these markets in volumes that have contributed directly to overdose crises in North America and Europe. Europol and the DEA have both published reports linking dark web drug purchases to thousands of overdose deaths annually. But here is what nobody talks about: drugs are not even the most dangerous category of content down there. Cybercrime as a service has become a multi-billion-dollar industry on the dark web. You can purchase ransomware kits starting at around $200. You can rent a botnet to launch distributed denial of service attacks. You can buy stolen credit card data in bulk. Researchers at Privacy Affairs estimate that a complete identity package including credit card numbers, social security numbers, and account credentials sells for an average of just over $1,000. You can hire hackers to breach specific corporate networks. These services are not niche offerings buried in obscure corners. They are advertised openly on forums, complete with customer reviews, refund policies, and technical support. Stolen data marketplaces deserve special attention. After every major corporate data breach, and there have been hundreds affecting billions of people over the past decade, that stolen data almost always ends up on dark web marketplaces within days. The 2021 Facebook data leak exposed over 533 million users. The 2017 Equifax breach exposed 147 million Americans. Security researchers routinely find this information actively being traded and sold long after the initial breach makes the news. Now, beyond the criminal economy, the dark web hosts something that most people completely overlook. It is one of the most important tools for political dissidents, journalists, and human rights workers operating under authoritarian regimes. The BBC, the New York Times, and even Facebook maintain official dark web mirror sites specifically so that people in countries like China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia can access uncensored news and communications. The Tor project itself estimates that a substantial portion of daily Tor users are simply citizens trying to bypass government censorship. In Iran alone, Tor usage spikes dramatically every time the government restricts internet access. Whistleblowers depend on dark web infrastructure. SecureDrop, an open-source platform used by over 60 major news organizations including The Guardian and The Washington Post, operates through Tor. It allows sources to submit sensitive documents to journalists without revealing their identity. Edward Snowden, who leaked classified NSA surveillance documents in 2013, used Tor-based tools to initially contact journalists. Without the dark web, those disclosures might never have happened. Deep dive: the darkest corners of the dark web are places that law enforcement agencies dedicate entire task forces to monitoring and dismantling. Child sexual abuse material, referred to as CSAM, represents one of the most horrifying categories of content hosted on dark web servers. Operation Rescue in 2010, coordinated by Europol, identified over 670 suspects globally and dismantled networks hosting thousands of victims. Operation Deligo in 2011 shut down a network called boylover.net with over 70,000 members. More recently, Welcome to Video, a site operating from South Korea, was taken down in 2018 in a joint operation involving 18 countries. Its operator had earned Bitcoin equivalent to hundreds of thousands of dollars hosting this material. These operations result in rescues, actual children removed from active abuse situations, but investigators describe the scale of what remains online as deeply overwhelming. Beyond criminal content, the dark web also hosts red rooms, live-streamed violence and torture for paying audiences, though many researchers note that confirmed, verified red room operations are rarer than internet mythology suggests. Contract-killing platforms known as hitman services appear periodically, though most security researchers classify these as elaborate scams designed to steal cryptocurrency rather than genuine services. Analysis: understanding the dark web matters for several concrete reasons. First, your personal data is almost certainly already somewhere in a dark web database. Security researchers recommend using services like Have I Been Pawned to check if your email has appeared in known breaches. Second, the criminal infrastructure of the dark web directly funds and enables ransomware attacks against hospitals, schools, and governments. The Colonial Pipeline attack in 2021, which caused fuel shortages across the eastern United States, involved ransomware whose operators used dark web infrastructure to receive their $4.4 million payment. Third, the technical anonymity tools of the dark web are not inherently evil, they are tools, and context determines their purpose. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to CyberShield Daily for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.